So last week you saw me install the GFB diverter valve, and this week I'm taking it off. Let me tell you why.
B&B on the track.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm a skinhead. I've done this last year as well. I've been at work, it's been pissing me off, so I thought, screw it, I'm actually going to shave the whole thing off, and I'm a complete pale beanhead, really. It's fresh, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, today's video, as you saw last week, as I just mentioned at the start of the video, I installed the GFB diverter valve to the Rs3 8P. I'm taking it off already. I actually decided I wanted to take it off probably 2 days after I installed it. There's a few reasons why. I'm not going to give you a detailed video on how to remove it again. If you want to watch that, click the top right corner of the screen. You can watch where I installed it last week, where I did a bit of a tutorial. All I'm doing in this video is explaining the reasons why I'm taking this off and why I'm putting the stock one back on, and why I'm not going to be upgrading to a different diverter valve from a different company. I've had quite a lot of useful information from some people, some Rs3 owners, some tuners, etc. So what I'm going to do, I get the bonnet open, I'm going to start taking bits off and explain why. So guys, here we are once again. I'm going to start taking these parts off. Again, I'm not going to show you everything I need to do. If you want to know how to remove it, please check last week's video. Like I said, I'm going to start taking some parts off and I'll start updating you with the information once I've got both diverter valves in front of me. So guys, we finally got the diverter valve out of the car, just to show you a comparison. Obviously this is the solenoid, and then this is the GFB components itself. This here is your piston. So here, basically, here's the information as to why I'm taking this off. Before I bought this, I checked all of the reviews, as you usually would do before you buy a product. All the reviews I'd seen online were absolutely brilliant. And they were obviously people's first impressions when they first put this on the car. And usually you find when someone decides to dislike the product after time, they probably won't update their review. It will remain as the positive review that they mentioned in the first place. So based off all the positive reviews, I bought this product. It wasn't until I actually put a Instagram story up with this in my hand showing what my next week's video would be. And I had a message from Simon Bevan. You might be familiar with Bevo tuning, especially if you're down here in Cornwall way or around Plymouth area. Bevo specialises in Audi RS cars, mainly RS6s, etc. And obviously tunes plenty of other cars basically. But long story short, he messaged me saying, get this off, they're a load of junk. Don't always do what they say on the tin. It could be fine, but 9 times out of 10, they're pretty shit. He said you wouldn't believe how many he takes off each day. So, you know, he's gone to tune the car, probably isn't achieving the power figures he would have expected, puts the original diverter valve back on, takes off the GFB one, and it's run so much better. That immediately confused me a little bit, like, oh, that's a bit strange. All the positive reviews I've seen online, you know, they're all great. And then I put up a post on one of the Rs3 owners pages and asked their opinions, and they said a lot of people were fit of these and, you know, it's been completely fine for them. However, a lot of people have also said, who have had them, they're brilliant at the start, they do their job. However, after a while, this piston, you're meant to lubricate with engine oil before you install it, which is actually something I forgot to mention in last week's video. You do put a bit of engine oil on it, so when it's in the car, it's lubricated and can move freely. Over time, these dry out, the engine oil burns off or dries out and it doesn't slide properly, so they hold boost really, really poorly. And the first thing I noticed after about a day of driving with the car, first gear seems so much weaker. It doesn't feel like it's holding boost at all. It's still fast, but it's so noticeable compared to what it was like with the Pyberg, the stock one, the original diverter valve. This product definitely does what it says on the tin. My throttle response is increased. The gear shifts seem like I'm on boost quicker after, once I change gear. However, in my head, it feels like, not even just in my head, it's obvious the fact that after about 4,000 revs, it feels like the car isn't as powerful as it was. It feels like it isn't holding that boost. Maybe I didn't put enough engine oil on it. I know I did though, but I don't know, it's just a pain in the ass. And after reading all these comments of people saying they're horrible after time, and I'm going to have to remove it anyway to either re-lubricate it or just replace it, what's the point in waiting? Might as well just get it done now. Especially when I want to go down the tuning route in the future. I'm only going to arrive at Bevo Tuning. He's going to say, look, take it off. There's no point me trying. So just as well get it off now. I asked loads of people what their opinions were on the Forge high capacity elbow. They said it's great, but again, they've all gone back to the original one. The other one that people go for is the Turbo Smart one, but a lot of people say there's rumours of overboosting over time. So again, they just say stick with the stock one. Once it's tuned anyway, you're not going to notice a massive difference with a diverter valve. That's just their opinions. Obviously, if you've got one and it's working great, fair play to you. That's probably great, but for me, I'm going to take the advice of what people have said. And the experiences I've had, unfortunately, aren't that great already. I've only had it a week, and like I said, I noticed these symptoms literally a day after use. But yeah. That's my update on the product. Honestly, it does what it says on the tin. Better throttle response, more boost after changing gear, but I can't be bothered to take this off every 6 months or a year, re-lubricate it, put it back on, and even just for the sake of taking it off in the future when I want to tune it anyway, I didn't see the point. Something I should mention though, someone I've mentioned a couple of times in my videos, my mate Ben Davies got an Audi S3 8V. I installed one of these onto his car. He's had it since and it runs perfectly. It doesn't underperform. It definitely increased his performance. I can vouch for that. I've been in the car quite a few times before and after. So maybe it's just an RS3 8P thing that these diverter valves just aren't any good compared to the original ones. You know, there's that saying, don't fix something that's not broken. So I guess just stick with the original one. But yeah, interesting bit of kit. It's a shame because it was like 110 quid. It's just out the window now. I'm going to try and sell it. It's in perfect condition. I wouldn't say the product's faulty, but so guys, I hope that's a good bit of information for you before you potentially buy this product. Let me know in the comments though, do you have one in your car? I know a lot of you have already. And what are your experiences with it? Did you notice a good difference? Are you thinking of removing it, etc.? Is yours tuned and you've got one? Because I'd really love to know. Or has this put you off buying one? I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. I'm not knocking the product. I'm not here being paid to diss it, nothing stupid like that. I'm just giving you my honest thoughts on my experiences and what other people have told me, because when I was online looking for reviews, all I could see was the positive ones. Like I said, when people decided that they didn't like it anymore, they don't typically update their reviews. So when you go to buy one, all you see is great things, and before you know it, you've wasted 110 quid. Or I did anyway. You may have had a great experience with it. But once again, I hope this helps you out. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're this far in the video already, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. So I'm going to get the original one back on the car, take it for a little spin, see how it feels, and make sure it's all on properly, basically. And I've also got some new wing mirrors to put on, just the mirrors themselves, freshen them up a little bit. So I'll see you shortly. Right, to disassemble, piston and spring out. Crack that off. GFB spring out. OEM spring back in. Get the original diverter valve, line up the pin with the hole, click it in place. You're back in business. Make sure before you put this back in your car, you lubricate all the internal components with a little bit of engine oil. So guys, I've taken the car for a spin already. As you can see, just the stock diverter valve back on the car. And honestly, it feels so good to have the original one back on. First gear feels great again. After 4K, it feels great. It could potentially be a tiny bit of placebo, but trust me when I say it feels like I've just upgraded my car, putting the stock one back on. I've clearly had a bad experience with it. A lot of you probably had a great experience, but I wanted to give you my honest review effectively on how it was when I put it on the car. It's quite frustrating because when I first put the GFB one on there, as you could tell in my previous video, I was bigging it up. I genuinely did enjoy it. It wasn't until I took it for a proper spin the following day where I noticed there were a few issues. But I mean, here we are a week later, stock one's back on. So hopefully I shouldn't have any future issues. So moving away from the diverter valve, gonna get these new wing mirrors sorted that I said about earlier on. I've got two, so literally the new glass for the right hand side, which has got the wide angle on, and a brand new set for the left. Sorry, a brand new mirror for the left hand side. can see how much of a difference there is. That's better. This is basically the wiring for the heated plates. So when I put the heated windscreen on, it also heats up the wing mirrors. So there we have it, guys. 2 new mirrors, diverter valves on. So I reckon I'm going to wrap the video up there. Like I said last week, I've got something big coming for the RS3. It's going to look good, sound great, add a little bit of performance, but it's going to take up to 4 weeks to arrive. It's got to be manufactured in America. I thought it would be sooner than later, but it doesn't look like it will be. So for the meantime, guys, make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below your thoughts on the diverter valve. Let me know your situation with it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.